Ever feel like the last 10% of a project is taking just as long as the first 90% did? That's exactly where we are.
In this episode, we're adding the finishing touches, cabinet doors, hardware, lighting, and even a DIY fix for failing windows.
Because sometimes it's the little details that finally make the kitchen feel complete. If you have been a part of this kitchen renovation up until now, you have held in there, and we are so thankful
I've been a part of it.
Tuned in. Yes, you have. We are finally wrapping things up. This is the last of all of the details. We're going to get into those and then finally give that bottom line of what the cost was.
We don't even know.
No, I've not been looking that up yet.
Uh-oh.
In the last episode, we shared all about how we painted the kitchen cabinets and the paint that we chose. So now it is time to pull it all together. So let's dive in and share all the details with you. Let's start with the cabinets and the hardware. One thing I definitely wanted for this kitchen were to swap out the hinges. We had exposed hinges. In our last kitchen makeover that we did a few years ago, we did replace the hinges, but they failed too.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just kind of wonky and falling off. So I wanted good quality hinges, which is a little bit of an investment, but knowing how the other ones failed, that was not a wise investment. Getting the right hinge the first time is what we should have done. So we went with hidden hinges, which I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And not only hidden hinges, but soft close, hidden hinges. And I feel all kinds of bougie now.
That was one of your requests. It was like, I just want them to be soft close. And this is nice. I wasn't sure. I was a little worried about the hidden hinges, actually.
Oh, you were?
A little bit. Just
I
kind
didn't know that.
of just kind of thought, I don't know. It'd be easier just to stick the other ones back up there. But this worked out well. And got to use the new tool.
Oh, we got a Craig jig made specifically for hinges just to do this project, and it definitely was a lifesaver.
You can't do it without this.
No. We are getting ready to put the cabinet doors on, and we're doing hidden hinges, but I am super scared because this is something you don't want to mess up. So we're going to do some test boards first to see if we can get the look that we like. I purchased this hinge jig kit from Craig, and it is supposed to make the hinge install that much easier.
The Craig jig template is pretty cool.
It is.
So it's basically a little plastic guy, and it's got markings on it, little rulers on it, but it is fixed, and it's the right size for the hinge, and you just attach your drill to it and go straight through the wood. It's got places to where you poke the pilot holes when you put the hinge in and put the screws in. I mean, it's genius.
It is.
And it lines it up perfectly, and you just figure out where you're going to put them and mark it to that line each time.
That's right. I do recommend getting a scrap piece of wood and going ahead and trying a test.
A little testy.
To see.
That's way off. Right. This was fine, Justin Moore. He says, will you right?
We did have one error with one cabinet door because we forgot that this was our custom cabinet that we built for the microwave. We forgot that there was a space up at the top.
Yeah.
And we had pre-drilled the hinges, and we had to
move them.
Move the hinge down.
So we just moved it down. And so you've got the old hole, the wrong hole.
Right.
But we painted it green, and I never see it.
No.
Never see it.
No.
Plus it's on the inside, so
that's right.
You won't see it. The one difficulty in using hidden hinges is getting the correct hinge size. This is the opening of the cabinet.
Here, this will be the opening.
So you put the door, line it up against that little line of opening, and then you've got an overhang now between the other edge of the open cabinet and how much the door hangs over. Measure that, divide it in half, and that's the hidden hinge that you need to buy. That's the size.
That's the hinge size. But here's the awesome thing. If you get a hinge size that may be 1/4 of an inch off, these hinges, you can move them up and
All kinds of
down and
adjustments.
forward and back and left and right. So don't feel like you've got to be so specific, because I think on one door I had leftover hinges that were not measured the way that I measured them, and they still worked. Like they went from 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. So we're talking what, 1/8 of an inch?
I wasn't even listening.
I know. Whatever. Math.
I heard hinges.
Bottom line, if you go online to purchase these hinges and you look at the manufacturer's instructions, they give you very detailed tutorial on how to measure for your cabinet. So just follow the manufacturer's instructions and you will be okay.
Just any manufacturer. Just find a manufacturer and follow those instructions. They'll tell you.
Preferably the manufacturer of the hinge you're going to purchase.
Oh, right. Anyway,
Don't go to Bob's.
go to Bob's Manufacturing. Pipe Manufacturing. Hey, Bob, I'm about to measure a cabinet door. I was told by people on the internet to call a manufacturer and get instructions on how to do things. Thanks, Bob. Bob was no help.
He was no help at all.
Thanks, Bob, for nothing. Bob. You know, one thing in one of the previous videos I thought you said was genius. Mark the cabinet doors.
Oh,
When you take them down, mark those cabinet doors to wherever you got it from. And then when you're drilling these Craig holes, mark it on the inside of that little circle. And that way, when you take it in, you can go, okay, this one was for the top right above the stove. Boom. And then you can put it in the place, because you want to make sure you keep all of that organized.
Oh, one thing with the hinges, when we put them on the pantry.
Oh, yeah.
We went to open the pantry door and
swing open and hit the
trim. The trim, yeah.
I didn't even know these things existed, but you found these little stoppers that go inside the hinge somewhere, and it keeps the door from swinging widely open.
I love to sleuth things and look things up on the internet. For the knobs, we did have cup pulls that were pewter in place before, but I wanted to go with the antique brass. I love that look. It's timeless, and I've been adding more brass into our home decor.
Just warms it up.
It does, and it looks really good against that gray-green color.
So it's like a brushed, not really shiny, so it looks really nice.
For the drawers, we have cup pulls. For the doors, we have handles, but for the smaller doors and for one little small skinny door next to the stove.
Oh, and the two above the fridge.
Right.
Yeah.
We used little square ones.
So little options around. Yeah.
Looks great. Another thing we wanted to update was the cabinet lighting. So that's behind us now.
See it. It's nice and warm.
Well, we had existing cabinet lighting behind the glass doors, but it was like fluorescent-y white. So we did just go and buy all new lights that are all uniform, so that way they still look great. The only thing we needed to do was replace the old lights, but we also wanted to add one above the coffee maker, so that way late at night, if we wanted to make a little potion, we could go in and fix our drink the way that we like it, and it would be all nice and moody and cozy.
I can see I don't spill the water.
Well, we're installing interior illumination under this cabinet so that we can see the coffee getting made better. You know, one of these things. We'll take that. We're going to put it under here. The cables that it came with, I've got to run through the cabinet to get to this plug outlet. Tools of choice, paddle bit at 3/4 of an inch. there to come out there and go into this hole. Destroys that wood. And that ripping out the wood. So when I came through this side, I could see where that sharp point of the paddle bit is. And so I just drilled from this side and made a clean circle, and then continued drilling from this side, and that gave me a clean hole on both sides.
Adding lights inside the glass door cabinets above the sink definitely give it that cozy feel. Also, having the light right above the sink, shining into the sink, is great for function, better for workspace, but that extra light that we added above the coffee maker definitely creates that warm glow at night that we absolutely love.
Look at that. After every project.
We've never done that before, is that new?
After every project going forward. That's the new move.
I don't like that move. The next few things that we're going to address, we are going to be coming out with tutorial videos about each one, so you won't want to miss those. But let's dive into the first one here. We made a DIY garbage pull out. We had one next to the sink, and it had the drawer above it.
It's the one you buy at...
Yeah, the Remodel one. And
it's like a wire thing.
And when you have giant children who don't know their own strength and they try to push something really hard down in that trash can, I think it broke within like the first year. And it was too low. If you're wanting to cut vegetables, I love that option of just being able to go zoop and it goes straight into the trash. So we did have
vegetables go right in the trash. I cut these vegetables up. What do you want me to do with them? Sling them in the trash. Good idea. Get the pork rinds.
That's not what I'm talking about.
You mean the vegetable waste?
The waste.
Okay.
We moved the old garbage pull out to the kitchen island, but we did have to cut out a drawer to facilitate it being tall. And then the other thing, we couldn't find one that was tall enough. All of them were made to be below a drawer. So that meant we had to make our own. And then you did a really good job.
Well, thanks. I mean, it was kind of obvious what to do, but you never know. You have the drawer and you have the door, and then the cabinet facing, you have that piece of trim wood. It's like 2 inches thick where the drawer sits against and the door hits against. You just got to remove that. So now we had this really big open rectangle. One thing that we did do that I think was smart was get heavy duty, those high weight drawer slides that could go down and be pulled out. And so it takes a lot of weight. So we still try not to press down garbage, but you can a little bit on this because it's pretty heavy duty. And so we just put the tracks in the bottom, built a box that would take the trash can, and we even have room for trash bags.
That's right. Woo! So we will go into full detail in the tutorial video that is coming up. One thing I love about this kitchen is our big, beautiful bay window, but we had a huge issue because the gas in between the bay window started to fail. So we definitely needed to address the issue, and I came up with this idea of creating like a faux leaded glass thing.
Right.
I looked online for film that you could buy, and the film was about $400 or $500, way too high. We looked at, you can actually buy leaded glass kits that they actually are kind of like raised up.
Yeah, 3D looking.
But if you look at some of our previous DIY videos, you'll see that we had put like electrical tape or painter's tape just to mock up what would it look like if we did, like what are some patterns we can try. And then you had a really great idea on how to mock it up.
Yeah.
But this accident actually ended up working.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. We had different thicknesses of tapes so that we wanted to try out. So some of them looked a little too big. I had this other auto striping tape that is 2 skinny lines. Now they're on their own, they're too skinny, but I thought if I smush them together, they'll be the right size.
Yeah.
And we put our first little line on there. I didn't really care too much. I just wanted to get it just close,
to see.
just to see.
You know,
what is this
'cause
right?
We're just checking pattern.
Yeah. Because we know, well, heck, we can't replace this window. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
But we're tired of seeing that streak of weird gas or whatever
Right.
got in there. Here I am getting the tape and just thinking, let's just try it. So I put those diamonds up. We let them sit for a few days. And we kept looking at it going,
I think that's it.
I don't think we need to get a kit.
Yeah.
Let's just use striping tape.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did. And it's crazy.
I know.
It's a charcoal gray, but it's got little metallic flakes in it. So
Right.
it kind of has a
It,
lead
like,
look.
works,
It's
yeah.
weird. It's crazy. So a little mistake that turned into the perfect solution.
Mm-hmm. We'll go into all of the details on how to measure, how we came up with the pattern,
Yeah.
and then also tips on how to work with it, since you do love working with this stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll go into all of that in its own video.
And sure, I had it already sitting around, but it's not expensive stuff either.
No, and you can get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
And what I loved most about this is that it was cheap, it was easy to install, and it was really effective. It has the exact cozy look
Yeah.
that I was wanting to have for this
Yeah.
kitchen. So it's one of my favorite features, all thanks to auto striping
Auto
tape.
striping tape. And can you still see the little streaks across the window?
Yeah.
Sure, you can. But this helps to camouflage it
Yeah.
and distract your eye to something that's pretty so that you don't really notice that as much.
Exactly. The last thing we're going to talk about in this video is the door to our garage. It is a glass door that was clear, and let me tell you, you could see everything. Now, we're thankful that it allows light in, but you could see the garage track,
All the wood stacked against the
all the
wall,
tools,
cabinet doors,
yeah.
paint, everything.
bicycles.
Just,
It was just very unsightly. So I wanted to find a way. If we're going to all this trouble to create this beautiful hallway, I didn't want at the end of the hallway to see all of our garage junk. So I wanted to find a way to disguise that glass. So you had to make some fixes to the door that we're going to go into, but I ended up finding some paint made for glass that helps it look like wavy glass. And it really did the trick. I did both sides, and the light still comes in, and it disguises all of the mess and the junk on the other side of the door. So we'll go into all of the details in its own video coming up right after. This kitchen, it's finally looking like the vision that we dreamed up when we bought that clearance fridge. Whew. So glad to finally get here. Next, we're going to share the detailed tutorials for that garbage pullout, for the leaded windows, and again for that garage door privacy fix, and even more. And then it's time for the big reveal with the full budget on what we spent.
Can't wait to see
I
that.
know, I can't wait either.
Don't miss it. Hit subscribe and follow Your Home Renewed.
Where we share budget DIYs that help you create a cozy home without overspending.